All right, so that apple wasn't really that good. It's not quite ripe yet, so let's throw it here in the knotweed. All right, check this stuff out. Look at this knotweed. This stuff is tall. I mean, I'm not a tall guy by any stretch of the imagination, but this stuff has me by like, what is that? 4 feet. So this is what that area used to look like. We hacked through it with machetes, a sai, and it's like hand swingy thing. I forget what it's called, but that's how we did it. We cut it all down with hand tools, and now we've been mowing it. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little tour of this Japanese knotweed area. I'll put some B-roll in so you can see what this used to look like. But this whole area here, where I'm standing, let me get up here, was all knotweed. From way back there, all the way back there was knotweed. And I'll put some B-roll in so you can see what it looked like. But check this out. So we've been mowing this with the mower. This whole area here, we've been mowing, picked a bunch of rocks, and there's the apple tree. And I'll put the, I think the Jeep, I'll put some B-roll of the Jeep right here, backing in here to get a table out of there. I mean, this stuff was all like 10 feet tall 2 years ago, but here's what we've been doing. We've been mowing this with the lawn tractors, garden tractors, whatever you want to call them. This whole area here was all knotweed. All this area here was knotweed. So now we're just mowing it every time we mow, every couple of weeks, whenever it is. And here's some that we haven't really done much to, because it's way too rocky back here to get the mowers in. So once in a while we'll come through here with hand tools and just chop it down. So I don't know, can you cut this stuff and keep it controlled? It seems like you can. I mean, it's starting to flower here, but it's a lot shorter. There's some across the street by the shipping container. I can maybe get some B-roll of that for you too, and show you what that looks like and what this stuff usually is like 10 feet tall this time of the year, literally 10 feet tall. I'll get some B-roll of that so you can see what it looks like. But this is all stuff that we've cut probably twice this year, maybe 3 times. And it's, you know, it's hanging in there. I mean, I'm not saying it's going away. Put this piece of vinyl down and see if it can just kind of, I don't know, drown it out or block out the light and see if it dies. I don't think it's going to work. But I still have a lot more rocks to dig here. This is the area I raked. I don't know if I did video of that, but I raked this with the tractor, which made a big difference. It pulled a lot of this stuff out by the root. Some of those stuff among the trees is a problem. This whole area down here by the pond, I think I've got some B-roll of myself hacking through here with a machete, and the stuff was over my head. I mean, it was literally over my head. Now this whole area here got raked as well. I mean, there's the pond. So there's the pond right there. Oops, can you see the pond? So now we get a great view of my pond, although today is really cloudy and there's no sun, so good luck with that, you take my word for it. But this whole area here was all knotweed, all the way back here, all the way to that tree line. Yeah, let's walk back to this tree line. You can see this all the way back to here, and there's some, oh wait, there's some back here you can see. That was this is how high this whole area I was walking through was last year. I don't mow back here as much as I used to because it's I don't know, too high, too rocky. But there's a little bit there I missed, unfortunately, with the tractor. But it's all pretty wet back here, actually. Look at that. It's kind of this is where our water for the pond comes, I guess. So, but this whole area here was all like 10 feet tall knotweed. I mean, here's some here in the woods right there. I don't know if you can tell how tall it is. Maybe 3 feet tall, give or take. I mean, here's some here around this tree, but we'll just get in there and cut that down. But I think, I don't want to say we're beating this stuff, but I think if you just keep cutting it and mowing it as often as you can, like get rid of all the rocks and stumps, and a lot of these knotweed root balls get left behind, they'll destroy your mower. So you gotta dig those out. If you can start to mow it, I think you can beat it back. Like this whole area here, I just brush hogged this year. And it wasn't really knotweed, it was more whatever. But this is the area. Let's see what the apples look like here. These aren't that good looking. Oh, that's a nice one there. All right, let's eat this apple, huh? What do you think of that? These don't look the best, but they taste all right. All right, so this was all high brush here, high brush, and knotweed here. Look at this ash tree here. This has got the little helicopters on it. That's cool. I gotta spread those around. But probably eventually I have to get in here and clear this whole area out here around this ash tree. That's an apple tree, obviously. That's a junk tree right there. We'll get rid of that. That might be another ash right there. That one's dead, but this one's alive. So, all right, well, that's a tour of the knotweed. This whole area here that I'm walking toward, this was all knotweed. I mean, 10 feet tall. Here's one of those root balls I was telling you about. Look at this. That's one of those things that'll absolutely destroy your mower. And you can't really see it, but that'll destroy your mower. And it looks like I've hit it a few times. So you want to dig those out when you see them, because that's where this stuff spreads from. But let's go over to the shipping container and I'll show you what that looks like. How high this used to be here before we started to try and tame it a couple years ago. All right, let's go over there. Oh, look at this stuff. This is over by our sea can. Actually, I never used to call these things sea cans, but I started watching a channel from this woman from Canada. She calls these things sea cans, which I think is pretty funny. But this is the whole thing, whole area. I'm probably gonna leave this knotweed here just because beyond that knotweed is a swamp. And you know, it's a swamp. Nobody spends time in a swamp unless you're a frog. So we're probably gonna leave this here. It's kind of like the property line is literally maybe 75 feet through that knotweed and swamp. So we're probably gonna leave that so the next guy buys that property that's for sale. We have a bit of a barrier. We have a swamp and we have knotweed. But anyway, check this out. This is the sea can. Sea can, I love that. Shipping container, Conex, whatever you want to call it. 40-foot high cube. Prices came down a lot. But look at how high this stuff is. This is what it used to look like in that area I just showed you. So this is Japanese knotweed in its full glory. And everyone says you can spray it after it blooms, but this stuff dies anyway. It comes back from the root. I mean, it comes back from the root. So even if you spray it, you'll kill these plants, but these will be dead. These won't come up next year. This is all stuff that these that you see here, these stalks die every year, and then new shoots come from the ground, and these just kind of you know, lay on the ground and they just decay. So we don't want to spray. Look at how high that one is. That one's got to be back there. Oh my gosh, that's got to be 16 feet high at least, that one piece. I mean, someday we may cut this, but right now we're just going to keep mowing the area that we cleared near the pond, try and keep all that cleaned up. And that, in my mind, is how you control Japanese knotweed. Just keep cutting it as often as you can, clear out those big mother roots, my wife calls them, and see what happens. All right, thanks for watching. I'm gonna end this video. I gotta go mow some grass. I got 4 acres to mow and I got 3 hours to do it. Later.